Hey everyone, welcome back to Elm Creek and another mod minute or so. It's been a while since I have done one of these, but this caught my eye when I was out on King Mods today. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to share it with y'all. Especially those with a PC Mac. Unfortunately, no consoles. Of course, it's a web download, so that probably speaks for itself. But what we have here is a Claas Lexion 5300 through 8900 pack. It includes headers, header trailers, front warning signs for the combines, and of course the combines themselves. The mod is by XXYY90, by HJL, and PlaneJelly are the three mod authors that have been given credit for this mod. I don't fully know the history of this mod, but I do know that it seems like it is being worked on and continues to be worked on and improved. And it's pretty impressive, and I'll show you some of the things that impressed me about it. Now, just to make a quick point with my mod minutes, I try to find mods that most importantly, have legitimate modders with legitimate download links. That's first and foremost, which this does. Second, a clean log file, which unfortunately this does not have. Now, there are a few mods that are requested that you install along with this mod in order to give it the full functionality that it has. So some of the warnings or errors that I'm getting might be because I don't have all of those mods installed. Some of them are legitimately issues with the mod, but I have played around with it quite a bit. It hasn't seemed to cause any issues in my gameplay, but that's just a warning for you. You're going to want to make sure that if you do decide to download and check it out, use it at your own discretion. If you're uncomfortable with there being warnings or errors in your game log, this one's probably not going to be for you. Let's go over some of the not required but suggested mods that the mod author mentions here. One is the interactive control mod. That can be found out in the in-game mod hub. RealGPS, that is not the GPS mod that you will find in the in-game mod hub. That is one that you're going to have to get from a website. Real Dashboard, Vehicle Control Addon. I'm sorry, Real Dashboard and Vehicle Control Addon mods are both available on the in-game Giants mod hub. Dashboard Live is not. Again, that's a third-party thing outside of the game. And the GreaseAddon, which is, if it's the same one that there is one in the in-game Giants mod hub. I'm not sure if there's a different GreaseAddon, but there is a Grease mod in the in-game Giants mod hub that you could try out with this. That all being said, let me just read you something here real quick. Basically, the mod author says, he's a little bit sorry for the rush of getting the release out. Some configurations they forgot to modify, so he re-uploaded a copy. Generally speaking, the modder says, look, it's not perfect. I understand that. Probably done working on it, so if someone can pick up the work and maybe perfect some of the issues on this, please have at it. It is on version 1.2.1.0. That all being said, let's get into taking a look at some of the configurations and some of the cool things you can do with this. So it does include 2 header trailers, depending on what size header you get. It does include 1, 2, 3 different size headers. These warning attachers that you can put on the front of the feeder house here on the combine. And one combine that is quite configurable. Let's get into the store itself and take a look here. So basically, you've got 1, 2, 3 different size headers, 2 of each. One is the typical head. The other one is a manual adjustment, height adjustment header. I believe there's a mod in the Giants game, an in-game Giants mod hub for a manual adjustment that you could probably try out and see if that will help. With those, I just use the standard header myself. There's your 2 trailers, and there's your warning signs or warning attachments for the front feeder house. One is manual height adjustment, the other one is not. And of course, we've got our combine. Now, this is going to take a minute to go through, but I will do my best to move it along so you're all not bored out of your mind. You're given several different Claas designs, and they will progressively increase horsepower, and as well as the grain bin progressively gets larger as well. So we start with our 5300. You'll notice here that indeed this changes as well, the side placard. So Lexion 5300, we've got a 5400 at 354 horsepower. We've got a 5500, gives you 408 horsepower. Then we go back to a 6600, which gives you 354 horsepower. 6700, 408. 6800 at 462. 6900 at 507. A 7400, 408, a 7500 at 462, 7600 at 507, 7700 at 549, 8700 at 585, 8800 at 653, 8900 at 790 horsepower, 9500 at 790 horsepower, 9800 at 790 horsepower, 9900 at 790 horsepower, a 10900 gets you 790 horsepower. You can see how the grain tank or the grain tank is progressively getting larger back and forth there. The 11500 at 790 horsepower, and we're back to stock. So you've got a lot of different models to choose from and tank sizes to go along with it. You've got your standard trailer board, Michelin, Continental, BKTs. Now I will tell you this, crawler tracks on each one of these, from what I can tell, are identical. No tread pattern differences whatsoever. However, if you stick with the tires, you do get the different tread varieties. So that just as a heads up. You've got your standard crawler. You've got a standard wheel configuration here. You've got crawler track. And like I said, these same crawler tracks, the look of them will be the same across the board. You've got this deal here. I looked it up as a to translate it, but it's basically a customer request crawler track. I forget what this is for, but anyways, this is a customer request. I'm not exactly sure if that translates right, but you got a little bit different hubs here. Look pretty sweet, pretty sporty, in my opinion. You've got crawler track wide, and you've got the customer requested wide crawler track. And if we go back and forth, you can see what the difference here is in the hub design. And then back to standards. Then we'll just take a look at Michelin's. Same idea. You've got standard and wide. Again, the crawler tracks, once you get into those, they're the same across the board with any brand. So if you're just going to go with crawler tracks, there's no need to switch to BKT, Michelin's, etc. You got Continentals, standard, wide, back to the crawler track, selection, and BKTs. Now, of course, with each tire brand, if you go with tires, you do get the appropriate tread patterns. But like I said, once you get into the crawler tracks, no change. Next, we have got the straw distribution width. From what I can tell, nothing cosmetically changes on this. You can go up to 11 meters, 12 meters, 13, 14, 6 through 14 meter spread length. You've got numbering for them up through 5. You've got a field scanner that you can add on to it. Let me see here. Did I do that wrong? I think I might have. Oh yes, this is the This is for the beacons, sorry. Trying to remember all the translations I looked up. Standard beacons, LED beacons. Then you've got standard with a field scanner. You can see it adds that field scanner into the middle of the up there on the roof. LED with field scanner and back to standards. Letters, you've got standard. Let's go back here. I'm sorry, ladder. My apologies. With the ladder, you got the standard ladder and the foldable ladder. Flags, you've got a lot of countries to choose from. I'm not going to go through them all, but let's just say your country is probably there. I mean, tons and tons and tons of country options. Then yes and no on this LED. I think it's a sign or manufacturer or modder or something. I have no idea what that sign is, but you can say yes or no to that. GPS monitors are for the interior. You can add 1, 2, or 1 plus 2 monitors. Panel mark, we've got cat, we've got snow, grain, 100 years, snow plus grain, cat plus grain, 100 plus grain, and back to cat. And pipe, you can do 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 10.5, back to 6.5. Your color choices for everything. Did a nice job. You get the basic color selections here. Of course, if you install the customizable color mod from the In-Game Giants mod hub, you can have pretty much an infinite amount of colors that you would like. And you've got license plates as well. I think I pretty much covered all of the customization. Now here's the cool part. With interactive controls, the mod author gives you a lot of things you can do on the outside. In fact, probably the most I've seen on a mod in quite a while. I think I've got interactive controls enabled. So you can fold out your ladder. We'll open up that hatch. We'll open up that hatch. We can open up that hatch. That hatch can open up as well. I know there's things that I'm going to miss. Forgive me for that, but I'm going to try and find all the things you can actually do. Open and fold the rear spreader. Now you can open up the back hood as well. These side panels can be opened up. I don't know if I'm missing any other ones along here. I probably will miss one or two. Forgive me for that. Along here, you've got that for raising and lowering the feeder house. Now, if I remember right, I think you also have, I'm not sure if I can get into this door or not. We'll pass on that. Let's go around to the back. I think there is a ladder. I think there's a ladder one here too. Yeah, there we go. So we can get the ladder unfolded. Climb up the ladder. You can also go up top here. If I remember right, you can open this top panel. So if you're into this kind of thing where you kind of like, oh, you can also put away your flag if you like. So if you're into this kind of thing, maybe you're kind of into more realistic hands-on playing and stuff, this might really be kind of a, you know, a big deal for you. Something that I quite find enjoyable. I don't know if I would do it often, but look at the detail work here on these sides. Now let's do the important thing. So we go to the interior camera. And don't worry, it only does it initially. So when you switch from outside to interior, you don't have to do that. It won't do that every time. Let's go to the outside camera here for a sec. Let's fire it up. You can see some of the action happening right there. I'm going to leave these panels open so we can see what it looks like when we attach to a head. Everything seems to function fine, even with some of the issues in the game log. Love the flashers on the front. That's also an option on these front safety attachers, with and without LEDs, whatever you prefer. Now, the one thing I found is the monitors here, you can see are blank, are actually off. And I'm pretty confident that's because I don't have the Real Dashboard mod working and stuff. If you are into the Real Dashboard mod and you're using that, my understanding is, from reading some comments elsewhere, that does work fine. But if you don't run that, just be prepared for a kind of a blank monitor there. Let's get this bad boy backed up. Oh, you know what? I see a problem already. I should probably fold our ladder. Where is... There's the ladder. Let's get the ladder up out of there so we're not dragging it. And I should probably put you back down. All right. Let's pick up a head. And let's go take a look at this field over here. Kind of want you to be able to see what's going on in these inside view. It's pretty sweet. I could harvest a whole field with all these panels open just because it looks so very cool. Ooh, I see one thing I forgot to do though. I should probably take this off. You do not need super strength to carry these around. Mod author was kind enough to leave those light enough so you can just pick them apart like that. Oh yeah, I got in and out. That's right. Well, let's get that over with then. I guess once you're in and out works, but once you get out of the thing, it's gonna have you walk back up the ladder again. All right, let's get this thing connected. Fortunately, it's pretty forgiving with my driving. Let's get the combine unfolded. And the auger should pop up for us. Very nice. I don't think there's anything to unfold for the head on here. You can adjust the feeder wheel, I believe it's called. Sorry if I'm not using the exact proper terminology. It looks like, just kind of checking it out, it'll be interesting to see. Those hoses look pretty good on there too. Let's fire this thing up. I mean, that is pretty sweet. I mean, it looks like everything is working in there. Now, I don't know if there are some graphics or shaders that aren't working right. Like, I'm looking inside there. Are those sifters? Maybe they're called. I'm not really sure what they are, but they look pretty white to me. I don't know if they're meant to be that white. Now, one thing I am noticing, and I don't know if that is, that's looking pretty good, is our auger is not turning. I don't know if that's something I am doing wrong or missing, but it looks like the auger's not turning on there, which I'm a little surprised is not happening. I would assume that auger would spin. Alright, let's stop you for a second and turn you off. Let's go over to the other one. Good horn. This is our Canadian brother. Let's grab this head and see if how it looks and works. Interesting that everything seems I think I'm looking at that right. I don't think it's yeah, the draper, the conveyor, the feeding belts work fine, but the auger is not spinning, which might just be again one of those things where the mod author mentions not everything is working perfectly on the mod itself. It does make me a little curious, however. It does make me a little bit curious. Bear with me for a second. Let's purchase an in-game or a base game Claas head. I think that one will. Well, let's go with this one. That'll serve its purpose. That right there. Let's throw this base game. Ooh, now I'm getting... That's kind of freaky. Let's throw this one on there. And let's see if that auger works or not. Because you wouldn't have to use the heads that come with this thing, I don't think. Oh, apparently... Oh, no. How does that fit? It looks pretty good. It looks like it's fitting pretty good. Yeah, and those augers do work. Well, there you go. If you want, if that bothers you a little bit, you don't like the fact that those augers aren't spinning, just grab the base game headers and that'll certainly take care of that problem. But yeah, I'm quite in love with the details and how much you can do with the exterior of this combine and how it looks when it's operating. If nothing else, you know, show it to your kids. Maybe let them see how complex these combines are. And if you know a lot about combines and you know the inner workings, even go through some of this with them and teach them a few things. I know I wouldn't mind sitting down with a knowledgeable person who can teach me a few of the workings of this thing here. So that is it. That is an informal look, I guess you could say, at this Claas Combine Pack by XXYY90, HJL, and PlaneJelly. 5300 through 8900 series. I hope you enjoyed it. check it out for yourself. See what you think. Like I said, just be warned, the log is not clean. There are some errors and warnings. I went through a few of them to see if I could fix some of the easier ones. A couple of them were pretty straightforward and easy to fix. A couple missing DDS files. But other than that, I simply just don't know enough about modding, or else I'd really give this thing a go and get it cleaned up. So let's hope it does. Maybe bookmark it out on King Mods and follow the progression of it. Hopefully somebody will pick it up and do a little more work on this puppy, because it's a really nice set. Really nice set of combines and headers. Well, thanks everyone for checking my video out. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves and make sure you take care of each other. I will have the download link in the description below. As always, give kudos to the mod author. Yeah, it's not perfect, but you know what? They probably put a lot of time and effort into getting it to where it is, and I'm very thankful for that, no doubt. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.